Anybody there? Can you hear me out there? Alrighty then. Hey, I'm down here. What's up? What's everybody doing? So I'm guessing I've got audio. Audio. Yeah, I got audio. Okay. So, what we're gonna talk about today is hey, John Pearson, how you doing? Dwight Squire Telecaster, glad you guys could make it in here. John Pearson, all right. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3 people and 6 watching. Welcome in. Welcome here if you're here. Today, what I'm going to talk about is the Martin GPCPA5 Black. And what that stands for, and I'll be in view better in a minute. I'll get out of this, look down here thingy, out of this corner. Terry Himes, how you doing? The GPCPA is the Grand Performance Cutaway Performing Artist 5th tier, which is the 5th tier of Martin guitars, number 1 being the best. And I picked up this guitar. These guitars were like discontinued, I think, in about 2016. And they were, from what I can find, they were originally listing for like $7.99. So it's a budget Martin. Now, $799 to me is not budget. Yeah, you know, it's not budget. And on top of that, the hard shell case for this guitar was $270. So you got $799, that's $800. $270, you got $1,070 for this guitar and a hard shell case, alright? So, alright. I bought my Taylor for, let's call it $1,500, and the case came with it. So, I picked this guitar up. They were discontinued in 2016, as far as I can tell. So, of course, the guitar is used. Okay? It's a used guitar. And so let's have a look at her. See if I can put my seat up. Hey, I never thought of that. Shit, I could have done that. I could have been doing that the whole time. Alright, this is it. Oh yeah, in black. Okay, this is it. This is the Martin GPCPA5 Black. Made in Mexico. Made in Mexico. But, you know, C.F. Martin and Company Incorporated, Nazareth, Pennsylvania. 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 I always love spelling that state. There's the headstock. No inlay or anything. The dots are up on the top of the fretboard instead of down the center, which is fine by me because I look at these dots anyway. Now this is yeah, it looks good from there. It looks good from here. It looks pretty good from here. This guitar is a little bit deceiving. Now, when I saw it, I knew there was something funky. And The kid at the music store, he didn't know dick, and like when we get into it, I'll tell you why he didn't really know anything about it, because he didn't know what it was made of. He thought, whoa, what is carbon fiber? I think it might be a carbon fiber. No, it's not a carbon fiber guitar. So I got out my old Google machine on my phone and I Googled it and found some specs. And I'm sitting there reading the specs and I'm going, oh, wow, you know, it's some pretty weird ass stuff. And I started playing it. I played a Martin Mini, which didn't have any electronics. Oh, and this has this funky Fishman electronics, and they don't work right, but they work good enough for me. And I'll explain that later. It's got a volume knob, and it had this blend thing with all these push button settings. There's only 2 knobs, but the buttons push. It doesn't function the way it should, but I don't care. It functions okay for me, because I'm telling you what, tone knobs on acoustics, I set my tone on my amp and with an EQ and my pedals anyway when I'm playing live or recording. Okay, so it is a solid Sitka spruce top. But the back and sides, and they had a natural model of this that made the back look like mahogany, but it's called HPL, high pressure laminate. So this is a high pressure laminate back and sides, which basically plywood, right? High pressure plywood, but it's high pressure laminate. Okay, that's something of Martin's. And the back of the neck. Okay, I gotta find this neck material here. Okay. Look at the back of this neck. I don't know if you can see that. It's got these stripes through it that would kind of look like dark koa or something. All right, it's called Stratabond, which is a dye impregnated, and I always like to say the word impregnated, dye impregnated Wenge. Looks Wenge, yeah. No, it's called Stratabond. It's a dye impregnated laminate, okay? So you've got high pressure laminate back and sides, a Sitka spruce top, Stratabond dye impregnated laminate back, and a rich light fretboard. And it's got a shallow curve profile on the neck. It's really a thin neck. The nut is 1 3/4 at the nut, though. But it doesn't change a lot up here. I looked up the specs up here. I forget. You can look it up yourself. I don't care. So the only honest piece of wood on the guitar is on the top. Now, after I started thinking about it, I'll tell you why I bought it. We play a lot of outdoor gigs in bright sunshine, damp, cloudy days, high humidity days, and sometimes I don't like taking an expensive ass guitar Like, I'll have it with me, but, between sets, you don't put your guitar in the case. You don't put it into an air-conditioned room, whatever. You set the guitar on the stand. You try to keep it out of the sun. And it's a victim of the elements, It is what it is. Now, what I read about this high-pressure laminate and this dye-impregnated laminate neck and Richlite, they're really resistant to temperature and moisture. And this has this black matte finish on it that literally, if this guitar is 7 or 8 years old, or 2014, I think is when they came out with them, or 2011, it could be 12 years old. The body doesn't have a mark on it. Nowhere. The body doesn't have a mark on it. Now, real quick, I won't dwell on it too much, but real quick, look up this case. This is a Martin. Can you see that? Yeah, CF Martin case, hard shell case, heavy duty. It's got the like dark green fur. These cases were $270 for the case. So you're looking at $270 for the case, $799. It's $800. $910. All right, you're looking at roughly $1,100 for this guitar new with the case. All right, so okay, you can't see it too well, but it sounds okay acoustically. But who wants to do that when they have an electric guitar? Right? Who wants to do that? Sue. I've got, and I played this through a Fishman Mini. And I didn't find out I played it through a Fishman amp at the store, and I didn't find out that the electronics weren't functioning properly until I got home and I started researching it. And I came in here and I went through all the steps that like tried to reset them, and I couldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. But it doesn't matter because it does what I want it to do. Turns on. It turns on. In the tone, it has some function, limited function. It kind of works like a lot of the tone knobs on acoustic do. They don't do much, right? Yeah, and it sounds even better through the amp, Dwight. Let me add a little chorus, because I love this chorus. with this grand auditorium body, it's not a dreadnought, so it's not a jumbo. They actually call this a mini jumbo in some of the reviews of it. One guy did, but it does what I want it to do. It's got these push buttons on, and one activates the tuner on the volume knob, and the one on this blend knob is supposed to blend in presence. And when you, I think that's with it off. And it's not, and compression. And that sounds more compressed. I'm a strummer anyway, right? On the acoustic guitar, I'm just strumming and humming. So, it's good for the chords, the open chords. So I guess the tone knob does take some treble off. When you back it up, it gets more mid-rangey. But I basically get my tone from the amp anyway, right? Everybody's gone away, said they're leaving for LA. Not a soul I know around. Everybody's leaving town. Some got to win, some got to lose. Good time Charlie's got to Charlie's got the blues. So it's going to be a good strumming guitar, You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You're just like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. Long last love has arrived. I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Hey!